as you just saw just a second ago, we are here at this amazing place called Tan Bún Bò Huế. Apparently they have very good bún bò Huế, so we are very excited to try this yummy food and soup. And I have a surprise for you. We are going to be talking with and having some good food today with someone very special, Phúc Map là Bán Tây trong Sài Gòn, right here. And he's going to be here talking with you and me about Vietnam, living here as an expat, all the good food, and really, what's life like every day. So, hôm nay là nhiều quan trọng, hôm nay là đẹp quá. And now we're gonna eat good food and have a good time. So let's get inside. Vietnam, and I'm here with the amazing and incredible Phúc Map.
Well, thank you so much, Don.
I'm so glad to have Phúc Map with us. For those of you out there who know about Phúc Map, he has a great Instagram following. Also, too, he's on YouTube and he vlogs, and he lives here, right here in Vietnam. So we're going to talk to Phúc. He's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like to be an expat living here in Vietnam, what it's like to enjoy his family here in Vietnam, and just really what is life in general like as he navigates being someone who's learning Vietnamese, because as you know, tôi học hỏi tiếng Việt, and I still study and I still try to read, and it's not easy. So I just told him I wish I lived here like him. It makes it a little bit easier, my friend. But we're going to talk to him about a little bit about everything. Today where we're at is this wonderful place right now called Bún Bò Huế. It's here in Saigon, and it's very good and well known for its Bún Bò Huế. Phúc Map, can you tell us a little bit about what makes this place so special?
Well, that's a good question. I'll share with everyone. This is Đường Úc Bích here in Saigon in Quảng Tân Bình. So on this street, there's a language center. Okay. It's called VUS, but the Vietnamese is An Văn Hội Việt Mỹ, which is the Society of Vietnamese Learning English.
Oh.
I've taught there for 8 years.
Perfect!
So, having taught there for 8 years and always being at that campus for the 7 years and 6 months, I would have to find somewhere to eat on the street. Before, up until about a year ago, this was just a hole in the wall. It was a room, and a lady cooked bún bò Huế, and now it's transformed into a restaurant, and the decorations are better. I don't want to say the food's better because I don't want to offend her, but I am very familiar with eating bún bò Huế here, and it happens to be my favorite Vietnamese dish as well.
Oh, they like that. This is special. This is special then to be here at a place where he's down the street from where he teaches English. Do you still teach there?
No, I gave up teaching English in 2022 to focus on social media.
So what we're going to do is we're going to order some delicious food, and when we come back, we're going to get a chance to continue to hear more while we slurp away at some good noodles, because slurping is good. And we're going to hear a little bit more about Phúc Map, and again, why he's here and why has he decided to learn more and do more in social media. See you soon.
So one thing you have to be careful with bún bò is you get two kinds of vegetables. Well, you get more, but two main vegetables are rau chui, the white stringy ones,
yes, I got that one.
and rau mung, the green
stringy
ones.
My favorite.
It's good, but you need to be careful.
Why?
Because if you eat it raw and you put it in, it can still have worms in it.
Rau mung?
Yes. So, I mean, you might be used to rau mung sao tỏi.
Yeah, rau mung sao tỏi. That's what I had yesterday.
That's fine.
I just told you I had rau mung sao tỏi. He's telling me about don't watch out for the worms.
Yes, but this is the point, is you have two options at these places. You can get the vegetables raw, or you can get them boiled first, and then you put it.
How do you say boiled?
Luộc.
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 Tôi muốn luộc.
Yes.
I want boiled rau mung sao tỏi.
Then they say saum. Saum means to live.
Yeah,
right? Saum, right? Saum also means raw.
It does? Yes. This with the same inflection?
No.
Really? Oh my gosh, I learned something new. You guys don't know I always say saum. I didn't know it also means raw.
Yes.
Maybe
They're
say
very,
raw.
very proficient with the Vietnamese language because it's a monosyllabic language. Therefore, you don't have many options in terms of what you can say. Therefore, there are a lot of homonyms.
Yes.
So I also teach Vietnamese on Patreon.
Oh, you do?
My most recent lesson is about homonyms.
Okay, I must take it. I'm going to take his lesson. I think I am because I relate to him. I think I should do it.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Really? You teach it?
Because of my Instagram, I do Vietnamese word of the day. For the last year or so many requests to teach people. And in the beginning, I would just refer them to a tutor that I trusted.
Right.
But so many people kept asking and said, no, I want to learn from you. I said, well, I don't have enough time to teach you individually, hence why I gave up English teaching. Therefore, it pushed the need to create my own form of teaching. So it's not a one-on-one experience, it's not a live experience. I record the video based on a certain topic, following the request of my students.
So, give us an example of what, so they can get a little bit of taste of what you do.
Okay.
We can share with others who might want to learn Vietnamese in America.
Yes.
What it would be like. Please share.
So basically, it follows my journey of learning Vietnamese. What are the most useful words? For example, I read a book called Fluent Forever by Gabriel Weiner, a gentleman that learned many languages in order to sing his classical music. You know, because a lot of the songs were written in German or French, Italian, things like that. And being an engineer, I believe he's an engineer, sorry if I misquoted, but he developed a system to learn a language. But one important thing he points out in that book is that, you know, there are only so many common words that are said in daily conversation. If I go meet that lady right now, there's only a few things I'm going to say to her for our first interaction. So you start there.
Yes.
So basically, I start with the pronouns. I start with common verbs. I start with common questions. But along the way, I let my patrons request a lesson. For example, one lady requested, what can I say to my boss? How do I use workplace vocabulary? So I focus on that. They're short, they're to the point, they're following my style, and I believe it helps people to learn at their own pace. You know, of course you can get a tutor. Yeah, of course. They can learn at their own pace, and it's really up to them, you know, how far they want to go.
So you said different topics. You said workplace vocabulary. I take it, yeah, didn't you do like a family topic? What do you say? The roles of the family, the brother, the sister, all that.
I haven't even got that lesson yet. I have about 27 lessons on there.
Okay.
So if you sign up, you get access to all those lessons.
Okay.
And then a new lesson every 5 to 7 days.
I want a family lesson.
Let's do it.
Can we do that?
You can, but you gotta sign up first.
I'm requesting. He's putting me to it, y'all.
So on that note, I discussed homonyms.
Okay.
And you know, you take the word dad. Okay. Dad is to kick, similar to dad, soccer, or dad. Okay. Then you have ice. Chada. Iced tea. Okay. Then you have rock. Dad.
Oh, so I see what you're doing.
And it's also used to talk about drugs. So one word, one tone can be all those things.
Oh, that's true.
So to me,
I made the mistakes, y'all. You guys know I did.
I'm in a position where, you know, I learn in a weird way. I have a very photographic memory. So my style of learning, I want to take a word, I want to know all the meanings right away. Give me all of them, and then I know that word has this, 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 and this. It doesn't work for everyone, but that's what I prefer.
Right, okay. So I really like what he is doing, what Phuc Mop is doing. He's here in Vietnam, but he's also teaching others who want to learn about the language. I find often that me speaking Vietnamese, many people don't expect someone who looks like me to speak Vietnamese. They're shocked that it is the language of choice that I choose and not Spanish or French or, you know what I mean, something like that. But I always say, tiếng Việt là nhiều quan trọng cho mỗi người. It's important for everybody. And it's a valuable language. And I've heard people say, well, tiếng Việt is the language of money, of don't. And I say, so that's the value. The value you place in learning a language is that if it's so English, people learn it because it's a language of money. You get what I'm saying? But I just feel like it alienates an entire culture. And like, oh, okay, it's only useful for you all, not for all of us out here to get to know you, to get to communicate, to connect. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying?
So what I've always said, in my experience of learning a language and teaching a language to many ages over many years, is that it comes down to motivation. You either want to learn or you don't. So if you are into this culture, similar to the story you shared with me, where you have a reason to be into this culture, maybe you like the food, maybe you like vacationing here, then you have a reason to learn. But for example, a buddy of mine who's speaks quite a few languages. He studied Urdu because he wanted to go to Pakistan. And he became one of the first foreign bloggers to film vlogs there and speak their language and speak with them. And that's great. But personally, I have no desire to learn that language.
Right.
Which is fine.
Right.
Because each person has their own motivation. Mine was love. I learned because of my wife's family.
And we get to talk about that. So when we return, you've been seeing a lot of fun, organic talk with me and Phuc Mop. When we get back, we want to learn more about this amazing relationship that transformed our Phuc Mop into Phuc Mop. So when we get back, we'll talk more about his life.
In more than one way, because I gained a lot of weight. I got a lot of mama and Sauki Leipa man. So.
Oh, okay. Cutting into this, I just learned Brandon. Phuc Mop is Brandon, and his last name is
Hurley.
And I said, Hurley, like your hat. And he goes, yes. And he proceeds to open his shirt. And look what I found.
This went to PG-13 real quick.
Real fast.
I always introduce myself as Brandon, being my name.
Okay.
But having the last name Hurley, my grandma on my dad's side actually found this brand and said, oh my gosh, that's our name. So she would buy clothes, all Hurley, for our whole life, my dad, my brother, and myself. And we lived in New Smyrna Beach, which is a surfing town. This was mainly a surfing company in the beginning, so it was perfect. Well, in high school, that's how I am. Wow. So,
he's getting so much love right here. It's wonderful.
So on that note, in high school, I wanted to fit in. All the seniors were getting their last name tattooed on their back. I was very close to getting my last name tattooed across my back. And one of my buddies goes, why don't you get the Hurley symbol instead? What a great idea. So I got this instead. But it goes on. So in high school, I would introduce myself as Hurley to my weightlifting friends.
I think that's cool.
Brandon to my classmates, but when I moved to college in Orlando, UCF, I said I'll just introduce myself as Hurley because how many Hurleys do you know?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm the only Hurley. So you know that guy Hurley? Oh, I know him. Brandon, more common. But when I came to Vietnam, I realized Vietnamese is very hard to say.
Hurley?
Hurley.
Oh,
You know?
Hurley.
Not as bad as Korean and Japan,
okay.
but it's still
That
difficult to
makes
say.
sense.
Therefore, my friend chose the name Phuc Bao as his name. We were traveling in central Vietnam, and a lady said, you're Phuc Bao, huh? He must be Phuc Bao, fat, Phuc. So Phuc, happiness, Bao, fat.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I just realized something I didn't share with you, and I didn't share with you. Oh my god, I lost my mind. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So, tôi tên là trong tiếng Việt Han, like Hàn Phúc.
Đúng rồi.
Hàn Phúc.
Yep.
Hàn Phúc. Oh
Which
my
works.
god! I can't believe this, you guys.
So my name translates to fat and happy. Because to Vietnamese people, whether I'm lighter or this weight, I'm fat. I'm fatter than them, so I'm fat and
Well,
happy.
he is Hurley with the burly. Okay, with the red
There we
burly.
So on that note, I have this, and then in 2018,
we're going there,
I said,
everybody.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Phuc Mao.
Oh, and that's the map of Vietnam. You guys, this is the map of Vietnam. Let them see the top. Let them see the top. Oh my god.
It's turning into Laos though, because I'm gaining a little weight.
you better.
It's a wide angle lens, guys. It's not that big.
This is the content you get right here on Momosa TV at the Dom Jones Show. Fun, interesting facts you learn about people out here loving you in Vietnam every day. And I'm here with Phuc Mop, and he's saying let's go with the broth first. Tell us a little bit about why the broth. Oh, and he passed out, so I want to pass out too. Oh, not passing out. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, the broth. It tastes so good. It tastes fresh. It's fragrant. It has depth to it. It's delicious. No wonder you come back. Oh my gosh.
I look at this dish as almost my welcoming party back to Vietnam. So the trips I take to America, Vietnamese food in America just does not match that of Vietnam, in my opinion, in terms of flavor. So
you telling the truth.
I go and I sit down here and I eat this and I go, I'm back.
This is really delicious. I'm so glad you recommended this place. And I love the onions and the cilantro. I just love all of those fresh herbs. It means so much to me because I love vegetables. And this is so good. So you guys, what we're gonna do is, you know, I'm a big person of noodles. So what I like to do, for me, I like to show, and I'm gonna follow Cook Mop because Cook is doing it right.
Okay, so you have the the bean sprouts.
Okay.
The raoul, commonly referred to as the morning glory.
Oh yes, morning glory.
And then you have the raoul chewy in here as well.
Oh, that's different.
Which, I mean, I call them banana vegetable chewy, but I don't know the actual name.
What do you call them? Bean sprouts?
Yes.
Bean sprouts. Bean sprouts, guys. These are bean sprouts here. Okay.
And I believe this is raoul tum. I could be quoting that wrong.
Okay.
You know what the word tum means in Vietnamese?
Tongue.
T-H-O hook M.
T-H-O. What does that mean?
Okay, so it's a few different meanings as we talked about the homonyms, but actually, tum means to smell good, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it also means pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Chai tum, rut tum, the pineapple is very good smelling.
Okay. And then maybe we want to smell like a pineapple too sometimes?
Yes,
Okay.
and this joke actually goes deep in the history of my channel.
Oh, okay.
The first game show I ever did in Vietnam was called Ai La Somo, right? And basically it's 5 celebrities. Who's number 1? They 5 celebrities. They have to interact with 5 foreigners and decide who's been in Vietnam the longest. Truthfully, I was number 4. There were 3 people that have been in Vietnam longer than me,
Right.
but they don't know that. So I had to make up for my lack of Vietnamese, because this was 4 years ago, by being funny, being witty, being creative.
And he's a comedian, guys, and he's quite lovely. It's a joy to be live with him.
So, there's a specific vegetable in Vietnam called raoul tum, which is like an herb. It's a general word for herbs, to be honest, but it's a specific thing that goes in pho and other dishes like this.
Okay.
And the host of the show is probably the most famous host in the country of Vietnam. His name is Chung Yang. He was on Hanging with Them with me as well.
Okay.
Very nice guy. I've always had good interactions with him. But he's quizzing me in front of everybody. And I have this gan, they call it, the thing on the shoulder. And I'm carrying it around. He picks up the vegetables and he goes, De La Rau Yen, what vegetable is this? I didn't know. So I said, raoul tum. Oh, okay. So you have to make up for it, and then every time I think about raoul tum, well, that's my example.
I love that. I love that. With Book Mop, you get lots of good stories as well as a good time and good food. Book Mop, do this with me. Let's grab a big old thing of noodles and let's enjoy our textures.
So speaking of textures,
is important to me.
There are levels. So we tried the broth first before putting anything in.
Yes, sir.
And you put the vegetables, and now we'll try the noodles and the meat.
Okay.
After the vegetables get in the broth.
Got it. Noodles and meat. We're doing it. I tell you that all the time. I must eat. And tôi thích ăn, and I love food. This is so delicious. And I'm so grateful to be here with good noodles, the texture's right, and good company. When we return, more about Book Mop and his awesome life. Alright guys, welcome back. And here we are with Book Mop having delicious Book Mop way that we tore up, okay, because it was delicious. And now we're going to get to know that, you know, Book Mop, where now are you from? And he said Florida. Well, he came to Vietnam, Florida, so we want to know, we know many of his followers know. We'd love to share with you guys on New to Book Mop, why did you choose Vietnam?
It's a good question. So to summarize, I graduated with a criminal justice and legal studies degree. I planned on being a lawyer, but when I did legal studies classes, they were very boring. Legal writing, legal research, didn't like it. So then I wanted to be a professor of criminal justice at university because the crime aspect interested me. But by the time I finished, I was also bored with that. So I had an opportunity.
But you're a comedian!
Always been the class clown. But at that time, I was training jiu-jitsu at Gracie Barra in Orlando.
Okay.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And everybody there worked downtown Orlando at the bars, worked security, worked the door, worked bartender, bar back. And because of that, I just graduated college. They're like, hey, why don't you come work at this bar? Okay, had a house to move into, lived down there, and I didn't want to grow up past college, so I kept the drinking going, being that I could drink at work. But after about 5 years, I had a very wise friend of mine who also did jiu-jitsu, sat there with me at the door, talking to me one night when I worked, and he said, if you're not careful, you're going to close your eyes, and in 20 years, you're going to wake up, you're still going to be working at the bar, and you're going to have accomplished nothing in your life. Go travel, get out of here, go somewhere where they're different from you, they don't speak your language, they look different. Just go do it and see how you feel.
So you just from this, you got this advice from your boss?
No, a friend who also trained jiu-jitsu. But a wise, older guy who was like 40, 50, that had a long life experience and traveled by himself.
See, so chúng tôi phải lắng nghe our back older ones who can teach us wisdom, because it was that one that wisdom that helped Phuc Mop to make a good decision for his life.
Yes.
Wow.
Listen to your elders.
Yes.
So I took that advice and I looked into teaching English. First choice was Spain, but realized you don't make enough money to actually travel and go around. You just work. Italy, same thing. Korea, but everybody goes to Korea. It's not that special. Okay. Japan, I did try for Japan, but it never worked out. And then the idea of Southeast Asia. Then I found a TESOL group teaching English as a secondary other language that focused on Southeast Asia and guaranteed jobs after the training. And I said, well, that's easy enough. So you pick. You want Thailand, you want Cambodia, Taiwan, or Vietnam. I looked at all the options. I thought Vietnam was the best. But the plan was to do 1 year in each country. Do all of them.
Oh, that was your plan?
Yeah. But then after coming here, I fell in love. Literally and figuratively.
So he fell in love, and this is what we get to talk about his wife. I really want to know about this story because, you know, I love love. So let's talk about the loving part of his life. How did you fall in love?
So, to be honest, the first year and a half, though, we never met. So I fell in love with the culture before her. Sorry about that, but yes. I fell in love with the culture, and I realized I don't think I want to go back home. I'm going to stay here. Because just walking down this street that we're on here, and just everyone goes, hello. They don't speak English, but they don't care. They just want to say hi. Where are you from? And they would ask these questions, and I said, wow, as a social person, I can meet new people every day. This is great. And then, about a year and a half in, I met my wife through some mutual friends. It happens that she lives close to where I work, and we share friends. Well, we went out to eat, and next thing you know, we start dating. And it was quite a culture shock to see how Vietnamese families do it versus American, because I'm sure you're familiar with the film Meet the Parents.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All the stress built up of you're about to get married and you're going to meet the in-laws for the first time.
For the first time?
No, that's for that film.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Not for Phuc Mop. I met my mother-in-law on the third date, dropping her off. She said, come meet my mom. I'm like, wow. Okay. Well, I made the first mistake. I called her Jane. If they're older, same age as your mom, older than that, you do not call them Jane. And I found out real quick. And I said, what do you mean? I'm trying to be respectful. She's older than me. She goes, you do not call my mother Jane. Oh, okay. So then they invite me over to sit on the floor and eat hot pot with the neighbors and the family. No one speaks English. And I said, you know, I tried to learn the language in a 2-week course when I got here. I said, it's too difficult. I don't need to. I'm fine. And then when I found her, well, I realized if I want to have any kind of relationship with her family, it's important that I focus on this language. So I got a private tutor, studied every week for years, and then here we are today.
So, you know how I always say, sống một người yêu, it's because yêu is a big motivator.
Yes.
So it was love motivated Mop to, you know, learn the language of Tingin, to love his wife now, right? And so what I love about that is that you really realize that any language, any community could be a conduit to making your life greater. And you got out there, you got out of the States, and look at how your life just transformed.
Yes. Now, in a good way, because when I first came here, I didn't even drink alcohol for 2 years. I gave it up. I said, there's no reason to risk getting really drunk here and getting arrested. I don't know if bail exists, but I didn't want to find out. And I gave up for 2 years, and then I drank a little bit when I met my wife, but then I realized she doesn't drink. And I said, well, that's the person I need, because, man, she's going to make me not want to drink. And now I barely ever drink because I have no reason to. And I found that my wife was the complete opposite of me in terms of personality. I'm very extroverted, talk to anybody. she's introverted. She focuses on her family and close friends, and I love that. And it was just like a perfect opposites connection. And I think it was Bill Murray. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bill Murray said if you think you love a girl and you want to marry her, take her around the world first, and then if you're still together after, you can do it. So we traveled to Malaysia, we went to Indonesia, and then of course I proposed in Taiwan.
And Taiwan, as you guys know, is my honey's home country, where we just finished filming our episode of Taiwan. A special place in my heart. We're going to get married there, and I can't believe you got engaged there. So
Elephant Mountain, looking at Taipei 101.
Oh, I'm looking over the camera. Rich, you know what that's about? Oh, okay, yes, right. We went there. I just keep it real, you guys. So you guys can see Phuc Mop is here. Not only has he taught English right here in Vietnam, he's found the love of his life right here in Vietnam, and he continues to create amazing media for so many. So this is what we're gonna do. We just finished some amazing meals, but we still got some more food to eat. I want to eat with Phuc Mop because he's fun, and I want to keep on talking and sharing. So on our next adventure, when we get there, we're gonna talk a little bit more about Phuc Mop, his channel, what he's doing, and where he sees it going. We'll see you in a second.
Cái nào Phuc Mop Talon. Đây là Formosa Cali.
You know, when you get to go to another country, like Vietnam, and here I met another person, who nói tiếng, and he has his wife, she's Vietnamese as well. So he lives here. He lives with his and so it's really awesome to see how we can come together and be united. And here we are, first time meeting, but I absolutely feel so comfortable, so happy, so thankful. Cảm ơn các anh chị for watching this, and I really look forward to more when we get to see the sights in Saigon. Saigon is the new Đẹp Qua, full of so many wonderful things, and we can't wait to see more with Phuc Mop and with so many others you get to see while we're on this epic journey in Vietnam.